Right, so with indices, okay, we use certain rules, all right? I'll explain those rules now as we go through question 1 here. So part A, h squared times h to the power 6. Now we could think of h squared, of course, as what it actually is, which is h times h, yeah? H to the power 2 is just h times itself. And then, of course, you've got h to the power 6, which is h times itself 6 times. So you've got that there, so h times h times h times h times h times 6h, so there's 6 of them. And then we're told to multiply them all together. Now when I put a multiply in between them, to say we've got to multiply h squared, h to the 6, notice then we've just got one string of h's times together, and there's actually 8 of them. Okay, so the answer will be h to the power 8. So the simple message is, with indices, if you are timesing, you add the powers, okay? 2 add 6 gives me 8. When you're dividing, all right, again, I'd write them out in full just to demonstrate this. V to the power 7 is just V times V times V times V times V, 7 of them, okay? So 7 there, and then you divide by V cubed, right? And that means there's 3 of them, so V times V times V. Now what we can do here with fractions is simplify down, of course. All right, we can simplify fractions. There's common factors on the top and bottom. So of course here there's a common factor of V. So that V will cancel with that V. That V will cancel with this V. And then this V will cancel with this V. Okay, so you've got 3 V's on the top, cancelling with the 3 V's on the bottom. You're left with V times V times V times V on the top, which of course is V to the power 4. Now again, right, there's another rule we can use, of course, is we just take away the powers, all right? So when we are multiplying, in this case, I could have just done h to the power 2 plus 6 and got the answer straight away, h to the power 8. And when I was dividing here, I could have just taken away the powers. So I could have just done 7 take away 3, which is 4, okay? Now with part C, all right, we've got large numbers in front of these as well. That's not a problem, okay? So what we do, we multiply the large numbers first. We do 2 times 3, which is 6, okay? So you've got 6 there from 2 times 3. And then the y's, y to the power 4, y to the power 8. Now remember the rule. When you're timesing, you've got to add the powers. So this will be y, adding the powers, 4 and 8 gives me 12, okay? And with this one then we're dividing, okay? So divide the big numbers first. 20 divided by 5 is 4, and then you've got n to the power 18 divided by n to the power 4. So with indices, remember, and you're dividing, you take away the power. Okay, so 18 take away 4 will be 14. Alright, so question 2 then, simplify this. So now we've got a number of different variables, number of different letters here. So if we times the big number first, 5 by 9, that would be 45. Then the a's, now 8 to the power 6, 8 to the power 2. So 8 to the power 6 times 8 to the power 2. Well, because we times in, we add the powers. So you get 8 to the power 8. And then the b's, you got b to the power 3 times b to the power 3, add the powers. So you get 6. This one here, to simplify, now again we're dividing. So let's divide here the big numbers first. 32 divided by 8 is 4. Divide the d's now, d to the power 5 divided by d cubed, so you take away the powers. 5 take away 3 is 2. And then here, e to the 4 divided by e to the 3, so 4 take away 3 is just 1. So that would be e to the power 1. Now of course I don't need to write 1, I can just leave it like that there. Question 4 then, we're going to simplify this. Now here we've got like a bracket, right? And the bracket is to show that we've got all of this to the power 3, right? So it's not just the y here, or the y squared, it's the whole thing to the power 3. So what I would do here, right, the way I always do it is, I just think about how many of these brackets I need times together. Okay, don't worry about what's inside the bracket. Don't worry about that for a minute. Just appreciate we've got to cube this bracket. So cubing the bracket means you need to times the bracket by itself 3 times, okay? Like that basically, because it's cubed. Now when I do that 3 times, right, I've got this. I could now, right, think about just the numbers, okay? So I could just do, let's write this out in a bit more detail. Let's multiply the numbers together. So 2 times 2 times 2. And then the letters y squared times y squared times y squared. Now 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And y squared times y squared times y squared, well, you've got to add the powers, haven't you? Add the powers when you're timesing, and if you add the powers there, you get 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. Okay? And then lastly then, it says simplify this, right? Well, there's no algebra, there's no sort of letters involved here, okay? But we just use the rules we've learnt already. There's plenty of space here. Take your time on this, right? Let's sort out the top first. Because you're multiplying, think about what we do to the powers. We're multiplying here, so we could add the powers, okay? So on the top, you get 3, but that'll be 12, won't it? Because you add 7 and 5. And then we'll deal then with this bottom, right? So sort the top out first, 3 to the power 12 by adding the powers. Now we're dividing, and when you divide, you take away the powers, yeah? So 12 take away 4 will be 8.